Hello and welcome students. This is lecture on matrices. In this lecture of matrices, we are going to learn a very important concept that is elementary transformation. Elementary transformations. There are two types of elementary transformations that we have to learn. The first one is elementary row transformation. Elementary row transformation. And the second one is elementary column transformation. See, the elementary row transformation is also written as ERT, and elementary column transformation, it will be written as ECT. Remember that we will have three ERTs. There will be three elementary row transformation and three elementary column transformation. Now, as the name suggests, by transformation, what are we going to do? We are going to transform. See, to transform is to change. When you transform something, actually you bring about change in that thing. So what are we going to do? We are going to bring changes in the matrices. Okay? Changes in the matrices. But remember, when I say that we are going to make changes in the matrices, those changes will follow certain technique and certain underlying laws. Now, what are those that I am going to explain, and what is the significance of these transformations? Why do we need to change? Okay, so we will learn all this thing in this lecture. So let us start with, see, first what I will do is, let us have one matrix. Here I write a matrix as 3 1 2 5 and 1 2. This is matrix A. And then another matrix, the order of this matrix is 3 by 2. The another matrix which I write is B, and this matrix I write it as 1 2 5 2 1 3. This matrix is 2 by 3. This matrix is 2 by 3. So as you know, the matrix A has order 3 by 2, matrix B has order 2 by 3. So I can multiply these two matrices. I can go for A into B. I can go for A into B, and I can get product AB. I can get the multiplication of AB to give us product AB is possible. We can get the product AB. Why? Because I notice that number of columns in A is equal to number of rows in B. See, this is pre-factor matrix. This is post-factor matrix. And what I understand that number of columns, that is the condition. Number of columns in pre-factor should be equal to number of rows in post-factor. And if they are equal, you can get the product. Okay, so this way I can multiply, I can get AB. So let me first multiply AB. So here I go for A into B and see what do I get. When I multiply AB, I will get here, I write here A 3 1 2 5 1 2, and B is 1 2 5 2 1 3. I multiply. So you know how do we multiply? For multiplication, we always go by this picture, okay, which is a right angle. First is horizontal, and the second one is down going vertical. So first is horizontal. Now what does this mean? What does this signify? It signifies that the first matrix you will always read by its rows. So 3, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2. And the second matrix is C. This is now second one is down going vertical. So this signifies that the second matrix you will read 1, 2, 2, 1 and 5, 3. This way you will read. Now what does it mean? It means that now I'm going to multiply the first row with all the columns. First column, second column and third column. First row of prefactor with all the columns of post factor. So when I do that, see what do I get? I will get matrix. Here I will get a matrix, and that is 3 into 1 3 plus 1 into 2 is 2. First row, first column. First row, first column. Then first row, second column. First row, second column. I get 6 plus 1. 3 into 2, 1 into 1. Then first row, third column. 15 plus 3. Then I go for the second row. Second row, first column. 2 into 1 and 5 into 2. So 2 into 1 is 2 and 5 into 2 is 10. So 2 plus 10, I write in second row and first column. See, this is second row and first column. Why? Because I am multiplying second row with the first column. Very simple. Then second row, second column, and that will come here. That will come in second row and second column. So I have 2 into 2, 4. 2 into 2, 4 plus 5 into 1, 5. Then I have 10 plus 15. 10 plus 15. Then third row, first column. Third row, first column will come here. So I have 1 into 1 is 1 plus 4. Then 1 into 2 is 2 plus 2. And then 1 into 5 is 5 plus 2 into 3 is 6. So here I got, and you know this matrix is AB. So finally I get AB as, see, I will get matrix AB as 5, 7, 18, 12, 9, 25, 5, 4, and 11. This is what I got. This matrix is AB. What is the order of AB? Order of AB is 3 by 3, which is in front of you. You can check 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay. Now see here, when you have the order, when you multiplied 3 by 2 with 2 by 3. So see, this and this you ignore. What are you left with? So the left thing is 3 by 3. That is why AB, the matrix AB which you found, it is order 3 by 3. So as such, you know, even before actual multiplication, you are in a position to say, that the product matrix will be 3 by 3. This completes the multiplication. Now, why did I teach you the multiplication? I will tell you that also. See. Now what I see here is when I multiplied two matrices, I am ending up with once again a matrix. So remember, a matrix multiplied to a matrix is again a matrix. A matrix into matrix is a matrix. Okay, so here what I have, I can write here, see, I have A into B. When I multiplied A with B, I got this matrix, right? I got it. So that is what I'm writing here. So see here, I will write here 3, 1, 2, 5. See, I'm writing A. 3, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2 multiplied with 1, 2, 5, 2, 1, 3. And what am I getting? I'm getting 5, 7, 18, 12, 9, 25, and 5, 4, 11. Okay. What is this that you have in front of you? What is this which you have before you? See, this is known as a matrix equation. It is a matrix equation. and it's a true matrix equation. It is a true matrix equation. Why it is true? It is because you just now did it. You multiplied this with this and you got this. So it's a true matrix equation for sure. It's a true matrix equation. Let me write this matrix equation as 1. Now what you notice is this matrix you called A and this one you called B. So this is matrix AB. Okay. This is matrix AB. The name of this matrix is A. The name of this matrix is B. So the name of this matrix is A into B, that is AB. Now here what I do is I will take the liberty of writing this matrix as C. It is just a name. It is just a name. I mean C is AB. What is C? C is nothing but A into B. So let me write the right hand side matrix as C. Okay, so what I can say is I can say the above matrix equation is in the form, I will say here, therefore I will write the above matrix equation is in the form AB equals to C. It is in the form AB equals to C. Now starts the idea of transformation. Try to understand. See, I will first speak about the row transformation, and whatever I will apply on row transformation, okay, with slight changes, we can also understand the column transformation. So here I have AB equals to C. Okay, let me write this as equation number 2. Remember one thing, students, that when I say transformation, I'm going to transform out of these two matrices one of the matrix. I will bring some changes in one of the matrix. So if you are thinking which matrix, see, this is prefactor matrix, and this is post-factor matrix, and we will call this matrix as RHS matrix, right hand side matrix. Okay, so I will be bringing some changes, I will bring some transformation in any one of these two matrices. So the thing is, which matrix, for precise, which matrix? See, if it is row transformation, then you will always apply that on the prefactor matrix. The row transformation are always applied on prefactor matrix. And whatever row transformation you applied on the prefactor matrix, the similar row transformation you will also apply on the RHS matrix. Okay, I repeat again. Say I go for row transformation. So when I go for row transformation, what I will do? If it is row transformation, if it is elementary row transformation, then it will be applied on the prefactor matrix. It will not be applied on post-factor. Please, you will not apply row transformation on post-factor matrix. You will apply the row transformation on prefactor matrix, and whichever row transformation you applied here, the same row transformation you will apply on the RHS matrix. Say you applied some row transformation, and because of that, what happened? That matrix A became A1. It became A1. Okay, it got changed. So the changed matrix is A1. Was there any change in matrix B? Absolutely no change in B. B was still B. As I said, row transformation is not on the post factor. Was there any change in matrix C? Yes, because I said whichever row transformation you apply on A, you will apply the same row transformation on C. So you got matrix C changed to C1. And the significance is, was this true? Was this equation a true equation? Yes, It was a true equation. Remember students, if this is true, this is also true. A into B was C. A1 into B1 equals to C1 is also true. This is also true. This is the idea. This is the idea. What are we going to do? AB equals to C is a true equation. We will bring in row transformation. We will apply that row transformation on A. It will change A to A1. The same row transformation on C. It will change C to C1. And then whatever I get, A1 into B equals to C1. This is also true. This is also true. This is also a true matrix equation. True matrix equation. Okay. Now this was about the row transformation. Let me now tell you something about the column transformation. Okay. Now see, in column transformation, what is going to happen? In column transformation, see, you had the matrix AB equal to C. Once again, I go to AB equal to C. That is, I'm taking you where? I'm taking you to equation number 2 here. Here I'm taking you to AB equals to C. What am I going to do now? I'm going to apply the column transformation. Remember students, the column transformation is never applied on prefactor. This is prefactor matrix. On prefactor matrix, we apply row transformation, which I have done. This is post-factor matrix, post-factor matrix. And what is this? This is RHS matrix, RHS matrix. Okay, so remember, I will apply the column transformation where on matrix B. And what about A? A, we will keep it as it is. Whatever column transformation you applied on B, the same column transformation you will apply on RHS matrix C. Say, doing this, what happened? That B got changed to B1. B got changed to B1. Matrix B1, it became B1. Okay. Was there any change in A? Absolutely no change. A is still A. Okay, so the now left hand side is A into B1. Will there be any change is in the matrix C? Yes, and that C got changed to C1 because you applied the same column transformation on the RHS matrix. The idea is this will also be a true equation. Was this a true equation? Obviously, yes. So if this was true, so this will also be true. This is what we are going to do. So for now, you understand only this much and learn the transformations. Once we are done with the transformations, then I will take a problem and you will understand that what are the uses of these transformations. So here I will start with the elementary row transformation number 1. So here I will write elementary, I will write here elementary row transformation. Okay. So here I write first, I will start with note. Let me start with note. I write, let me write in short ERT. I will write here ERT is applied. ERT is applied on prefactor matrix. Okay, this is note number 1. Now note number 2. Whichever ERT is applied on prefactor matrix, same ERT is applied on the RHS matrix. RHS matrix. Okay. See, third, if AB equal to C is a true matrix equation, then then after then after application of ERT, we will get, after application of ERT, we will get A1B equal to C1, which is also a true matrix equation, which is also a true matrix equation. So now I will teach you the 3 elementary row transformation. What did we just saw? The first, see, there were certain notes which I wrote for you, that elementary row transformation is applied on prefactor matrix. Then whatever elementary row transformation you will apply on prefactor, the same you will apply on the RHS matrix. And if that AB equals to C, after the application of ERT, became A1B equals to C1, because A got changed to A1 and C got changed to matrix C1. So the next equation will also be true if the first equation was true. Okay. So here, students, I gave you an example, and in that example you saw in this example that A into B equal to C. Here, this equation was true. So we have the best available equation with us on which we will apply the elementary row transformation and take our discussion ahead. Okay, so I have one very good example with us for ERT. Okay, so here we have one example, one equation we have one equation here, which is AB equal to C, A into B equal to C. So I will apply elementary row transformation on this and make you understand. So for that, what I do is, let me first remove all this. So I remove this here. This is equation number 1. I remove this here, and this also I remove. So so this is the equation, and it is in the form AB equal to C. See, the first elementary row transformation is ERT number 1. ERT number 1. What is it? It is interchanging any two rows. The first one is interchanging any two rows. Okay, interchanging any two rows. What does this mean? If I'm interchanging any two rows, what am I actually supposed to be doing? See, as I told you, it is ERT. ERT means it has to be on the prefactor matrix, not on this, please, not on postfactor. So I will interchange any two rows. Say, I think of interchanging R1 with R3. This is R1, this is R3, right? So I'm interchanging R1 with R3. So here, see what I write. I write R1 interchanges with R3. Look at the notation. Try to learn the notation. R1 interchange with R3. This one is the first. This one is the ERT1, that is interchanging any two rows. Now, if you are thinking that why change R1 with R3, I want to change R2 with R3. That is also okay. You can do even that. If someone says, no, I want to change R1 with R2. See, it is all done. It is all correct. You can do whichever you want. Right now, I'm doing R1 with R3. Okay. These all are okay. You can interchange any two rows. But how is it done? That is what I'm trying to teach you. So see here, R1 interchange with R3. When you do that, where you have R1, you will now write R3. So see here, here you will got 1, 2. Here you'll get 1, 2 and R3 will become 3, 1. Okay, what about the R2? Nothing to R2. R2 will remain as it is because you said R1 interchange to R3. Okay, okay. This was about the pre-factor matrix. What do you do for the post-factor matrix? Absolutely nothing you do. Because post-factor matrix, you do not apply row transformation 1, 2, 5, 2, 1, 3 and equal to what you will do to RHS matrix. Remember students, whatever you did for the pre-factor, the same you will do on the RHS matrix. That is, you will apply R1 interchange with R3 even for the RHS matrix, right? So when I do that, see what I get. Where you have R1, now you will write R3. And where you have R3, you will write R1. So you will write here 5, 4, 11 and here you write 5, 7, 18. What about the R2? R2 you do nothing. It is 12, 9 and 25. That's it. So was this a true equation? Tell me. Was this a true equation? Yes, it was a true equation. Remember students, if this was a true equation, so as this is also a true equation. See, this is changed one. This one was A. Is this A anymore? No, it is not A. Okay. Then this was C. Is this C anymore? No, this is not C. And that is very much true because see, if you change this matrix, obviously once you have changed this matrix, or changed matrix into B will not be C, or changed matrix into B will be a changed C. Are you getting? So when you changed to A1, A1 into B will be changed C, that is C1. So this is the first ERT that you got. If you do not agree to what I said, what you can do is you can simply multiply these two. You will multiply these two, so you will get this. As when you multiplied these two, you got this. When you multiply these two, you will get this. So what you can say, if AB equals to C is true, so A1 into B equal to C1 is also true. This is the first ERT. So the next one we have students is ERT2. ERT2 and see what is ERT2. ERT2 is multiplying a non-zero scalar. Non-zero scalar. Scalar means a number. That's it. What is a scalar? It is a number. So I wrote here multiplying a non-zero scalar to all the elements of a particular row. Needless to say, that particular row of a prefactor matrix. That is needless to say. You don't have to say prefactor matrix. Why? Because it is ERT, and if it is ERT, it has to be to prefactor matrix only. It has to be to prefactor matrix only. So this is your ERT2. What are you going to do? You are going to multiply. A non-zero scalar to all the elements of a particular row. So see here, I write here 5 R2. I write here R2 changes to, see the symbol, the notation. R2 changes to 5 R2. What does it mean? What does it mean, students? It means to all the elements of R2, I will multiply 5. I will multiply 5. So see here, if I'm multiplying 5 to all the elements of R2, definitely R2 will change. That is why the symbol is R2 changes to 5 R2. And see, when I do that, what am I going to get? Okay, see here. what am I going to get? Okay, now the thing is this ERT where you are applying, whether you are applying on this equation or you are applying on this equation. You can apply on either of the equation because both are true. Remember, this R2 changes to 5R2. You can apply on this or you can apply on this. Whichever you want, you can apply. So what I will do is, since we are going in a sequence, like, here, this was the first one. I applied one ER2, I got this equation. Now, when the second ERT is to be applied, I'm applying on this only. So see the next what I will get. I will now get here. See, I will get here. See, I will get here 1, 2, 10, 25, 3, 1. What I did, I multiplied 5 to the elements of R2. So 2 became 10 and 5 became 25. And what about the B, the post factor? Nothing you will do. 1 to 5, 2, 1, 3. And what about the RHS matrix? In RHS, you will multiply the in RHS R2 you will multiply the same thing, that is 5. Whatever applied, whatever ERT you applied on pre-factor, you will apply the same ERT on post-factor. So see, this is 5, 4, 11, and here when you will apply, what will this be? This will be 60, 45 and 125. 525 into 5 is 125, and here you have 5, 7, 18. Okay, and you know something, this equation was a true equation. You applied ERT on a true equation. So this one that you end up with, that is also a true equation. I hope you have understood this. So now after ERT1 and ERT2, the last one and the next one is ERT3. And remember one thing, students, that ERT3, see what I did. I had this equation in the beginning. I applied ERT1 on this. So when I applied ERT1 on this was true. I got another true equation. Then what I did, I applied on this, I applied ERT2. When I applied ERT2 on this, what I got this equation, okay, which is again true. And then finally, I got this also as true. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply ERT3. And where I will apply on this. So that will get me another true equation, okay. So this was true, this is also true, this is also true. After ERT3, what I will get, that equation will also be true. Okay. So since I need some space for writing, and anyways, this equation number 1, we are not applying the ERT3 on this. Let me please remove this. Okay. Uh, so here I write ERT3. So see what is ERT3. ERT3. This one has the biggest statement of all. ERT3 has the longest statement of all the elementary row transformations. So what is it? I will write here. See here. Adding, it starts with the word adding. Adding to all the elements. It is very simple. Only thing is it is a bit bigger than the other statements. So adding to all the elements of a particular row, definitely it has to be row because it is elementary row transformation. So adding to all the elements of a particular row of prefactor matrix, adding to all the elements of a particular row of a prefactor matrix, that you may or may not write, it is okay because it is prefactor, that we all know. So adding to all the elements of a particular row, same multiple, okay, same multiple, I will use another color, same multiple of I will change the color once again. Same multiple of corresponding elements, of any other row, This is ERT3, and now I will explain you the meaning. See, what does it say? It says adding to all the elements of a particular row. So you have to select one row from the prefactor matrix, that will be your particular row, and for that row, all the elements you have, to all the elements you are going to add. What you will add, that is also written. See what you are going to add. Adding to all the elements of a particular row, same multiple. Same multiple means some multiple which is going to be same of corresponding elements, same multiple of corresponding elements of any other row. Corresponding elements of any other row. Okay. So now I give you the example for this. I will now give you the example for this, and that example will make it more clear. So here I write the ERT. See, what do I write? ERT3 will go like this. See, here I write, I write here R2 plus minus 3 times R2 plus minus 3 times R3. What I did, what am I writing? R2 plus minus 3 times R3. Okay. And when I'm going to do this, what am I going to do? Check. See, I'm adding. That is what I wrote, adding. To all the elements of a particular row. What is that particular row? R2. I'm adding two elements of R2. And what am I adding? I'm adding minus 3 times the elements of any other row, which is R3. Minus 3 times the elements of other row, that is R3. And dear students, when I do this, wouldn't that R2 element will change? Yes. So I will write R2 changes to R2 plus minus 3 R3. And where am I bringing this? I will apply this on this equation. Okay, let us do it. So see, R2 is going to change, and you know you will apply this only on the prefactor matrix. Will R1 change? No. 1, 2. Will R3 change? No. 3, 1. See, I wrote as it is. 1, 2, 3, 1. No change. R2 is changing. How is R2 changing? See, R2 changes to R2 plus minus 3 R3. So you know what you will do? You will multiply minus 3. You will multiply minus 3 to the elements of R3. See here. These are the elements of R3. Yes. You will multiply minus 3 to this and minus 3 to this. That is why we wrote same multiple. You are multiplying the same multiple. Minus 3 here and minus 3 here. To both you are multiplying minus 3 only. That is why you wrote same multiple. And then what you will do after that, multiplying minus 3, whatever you will get, you will add correspondingly. See, you will add it to this. See, when you multiply minus 3 to this, whatever you get minus 9, you will add where? Here you will add. This is the corresponding. And when you multiply minus 3 here, you get minus 3, where you will add? You will add it here. This is the corresponding. Got that? I hope you got that. So see what you will get. 3 into minus 3 is minus 9. You will add to 10, you will get 1. 10 plus minus 9 is 1. Then 1 into minus 3 is minus 3 plus 25 is 22. 22 plus minus 3 is 22. And what about the post factor matrix? No change at all. 1, 2, 5, 2, 1, 3. And what about RHS? RHS, once again, you will apply the same transformation that you applied on the pre-factor matrix. Okay, is R1 changing? No, only R2 will change. So the row which doesn't change, we will write it as it is. So 5, 4, 11, 5, 7, 18. R1 and R3 written as it is. Okay, how is R2 changing? R2 is changing, but how is it changing? R2 plus minus 3, R2, R3, R2 plus minus 3, R3. So multiply minus 3 here. When you multiply minus 3, what do you get? You get minus 15. And that minus 15 you add here. So what you will get? You will get 45. Then multiply minus 3 here. What you will get? You will get minus 21 and add it here. So when you add it, what you will get? You will get 24. You will get 24. 45 minus 21 is 45 minus 21 is 24. Then here you will multiply minus 3. So you are going to multiply minus 3 to all the elements of R3. That is why you say same multiple of the corresponding elements. So this minus 3, it will be minus 54. So when you multiply minus 3, this will become minus 54. Now add. So 125, you have 125 minus 54. How much you get? You get 5 minus 4, 1. And then this is 12 minus 5, 7. This is 71. You write here 71. And this is what you got. So this is the elementary row transformation number 3. I hope you followed this. We have done all the 3 elementary row transformation. Now we are going to do elementary column transformation. So how is that going to happen? Elementary column transformation. So remember, before I start with elementary column transformation, let's have a quick revision. What was the first elementary row transformation? Interchanging any 2 rows. That is R1 interchange with R3. And when I applied that, I got this matrix. Now the question is, where did I apply that? This is equation number 2. It means I applied it on equation number 1. See what I have done for you, student. I have written that equation number 1 here. See, here it is. Actually, this equation number 1 should have been here. You understand? It should have been here before ERT1, but due to lack of space here, I'm writing it here, equation number 1. So it was this equation on which I applied ERT1. And then ERT2, which is multiplying a non-zero scalar to all the elements of a particular row. I applied ERT2 on this, I got equation number 3. Then I applied ERT3 on equation number 3 and I got equation number 4. Remember students, equation number 1 was true. And why it was true? Because in the beginning of the lecture only, we multiplied these 2 matrices and we got this. And we knew that it is true. So equation number 1 was true. Equation number 2 is true. Equation number 3 is true. Equation number 4 is true. So all the equations are true. Okay. In case if you want to check, then what you can do is you can multiply these 2, you will still get this. You can multiply these 2, you will still get this. You can multiply these 2, you will get this. Okay, this you can do. Now here we are going for ECT, that is elementary column transformation. Okay, so before I actually write the column transformation, I will bring in some changes, corresponding changes, and that will make you understand it much better. See here, what am I going to do? This is ECT. So R cancels and this is C. So elementary column transformation 1. What is it? The first elementary column transformation will be interchanging any 2 columns. And if it is column, then definitely it is post factor matrix. Are you getting? So you will have interchanging any two columns, and definitely accordingly, if you are writing any two columns, so what will it be? It will be something like, say you write C2 changes to C3. C2 interchange, I'm sorry, C2 not changes to C3. C2 interchange with C3. So what are we going to do? We are applying this on equation 1. I told you equation 1 is here. So we will apply ECT on equation 1. That is, I'm going to change column 2 with column 3. So here you have column 2. Here you have column 2 of post factor matrix and column 3 of post factor matrix. So they will be interchanged with each other. And then whatever you do here, you will do the same on the RHS matrix. Okay, this is ECT1. Then the second one, C. Second one is, once again, this R cancels, and what is it? It is C, ECT2. What is it? It will be multiplying a non-zero scalar to all the elements of a particular column. See, that's only the change. Now everywhere you had row in the elementary row transformation, now you will have column in the elementary column transformation. That's it. Okay. And ERT you applied on the pre-factor matrix, you will apply the column transformation on the post-factor matrix. Okay. So here, suppose I write this is say cancel. I write here say C3 changes to 2C3. What does it mean? To all the elements of C3, I'm going to multiply 2. So whatever I will get here, definitely that will be here, that matrix. Okay, and that I will do it. Fine. Then we have here, I'm going to take the example and I will do all that. But before I actually do, I'm just making you understand that ECT, once you have understood ERT, ECT is nothing difficult. That is what I want to make you to understand. So see, ECT3 is, this is ECT3. Adding to all the elements of a particular column, same multiple of corresponding elements of any other column, and that is ECT. So how would it go? The notation, say I'm writing C2 changes to C2 plus 5C3. C2 plus 5C3. So what I will do? I will multiply 5 to the elements of C3, and then whatever I get, I will add it to elements of C2. Now I will write the whole thing in detail. Before I write the all elementary column transformation, see, as we had written the note for elementary row transformation, we have few notes here also. See, the first note is elementary column transformation is applied on post factor matrix. Always remember, it is always applied on the post factor matrix in the equation AB equal to C. Always on B, always on B, always on B. Okay. Next, whichever elementary column transformation, the second one, I'm reading the second one, whichever elementary column transformation is applied on post factor matrix, same elementary column transformation is applied on the RHS matrix. Okay. Next, if AB equal to C is a true matrix equation, then after application of a particular ECT, we will get the equation in the form AB1 equals to C1. Why? Because we are applying on post factor matrix, so B will change to B1, and when the same application is on the RHS matrix, C would change to C1. So AB1 equals to C1 will be the new equation in place of AB equal to C. And remember that this new equation will also be true. The new equation will also be true. So you'll have to note this down. Now we go for the actual application. So here, let me first write this equation number 1 at the top. So here, this is the equation number 1 that we had obtained in the beginning of the lecture. You remember we had A, we had B, this was A, this was B, we multiplied, we got AB, which later I said that let me take that as C. So I have AB equal to C. Okay. And on that equation, if you remember, we had applied all the 3 ERTs. Now we are going to apply the 3 ECTs. Okay. So here you have ECT number 1. What is ECT number 1? See, ECT1 is interchanging. ECT1 is interchanging any two columns. Any two columns. This is ECT1, interchanging any two columns. Okay. So say symbolically, and you know it is to be applied on the post factor matrix. So symbolically, the notation will be, say I write C2 interchange to C3. C2 interchange to C3. What does it mean? That column C2 and C3 of post factor matrix will be changed. So when you apply this, see what will happen. Will there be any change on the prefactor matrix? Absolutely no change, because prefactor matrix is not changed when we apply column transformation 3, 1, 2, 5 and 1, 2 as it is. And here I have C2 interchange to C3. So C1, 2 as it is, this is C1. Now here they will change. So when they will change, what I will get? I get here 5, 3 and 2, 1. On the RHS, what I will do, students, I will apply the same transformation on the RHS. So 5, 12 and 5, 5, 12, 5. This is 18, 25, 11. C2 and C3 are interchanging. 7, 9 and 4. Okay, C2 interchange with C3. This is your ECT1. Now I go for ECT2. ECT2. See here. ECT2. What is it? ECT2 will be, I will write here, multiplying or non-zero scalar to all the elements of a particular column. You remember similar thing we had for ERT, but that was to the rows. So multiplying a non-zero scalar to all the elements of a particular column. Okay, let's do it. Let's write the notation for this. How would the notation be? Say I wish to multiply to third column a number, say 2. So I write C3 changes to 2C3. Definitely, when I multiply 2 to the elements of C3, the C3, which was this, now it will change. So I'm writing C3 changes to 2C3. So see here what I will get. Now I will get. So this was equation 1. Equation 1 changes to equation 2. Now on 2, I will apply this. So as you know, that three-factor matrix will not change. I will have 3, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2. And here I will have 1, 2, 5, 3, and 4, 2. What am I doing? I am multiplying 2 to the elements of C3. And what happens to RHS? 5, 12, 5, 18, 25, 11. And multiply 2 here. So when you multiply 2, you get 14, 18, and 8. 7 to the 14, 9 to the 18, and 4 to the 8. And remember, students, this matrix equation you got is number 3, and this is also true. This is also true. Now we have elementary column transformation number 3. See, what is it? It says adding to all the elements of a particular column same multiple of corresponding elements of any other column. When you have understood ERT3, ECT3 is going to be simple for you. It's only there we had rows, here we have columns. Okay, what are we going to do? We will select a particular column from the post factor matrix, and then what we will do, to all the elements of that column we will add same multiple of corresponding elements of any other column. Say for example, I select C3, and then I wish that to all the elements of C3 I add 3 times of C1. So what I will do, I will multiply 3, multiply 3, and then I will add correspondingly. What does that mean? It means I will add this way. 1 into 3, 3, add it here. So this will become 7. Then 2 into 3, 6, add it here. This will become 8. And what was the transformation I said? I said the transformation as follows. See, now I will write it. See, I write here, I write C3 plus 2 times of C1. C3 plus 2 times of C1, or there I had said 3 times, whatever you wish. You can even write 4 times. Any number you can write 4 times of C1, or you can write minus 4 times of C1, whichever you wish, that is okay. It has to be just same multiple for corresponding elements. So when you do this, wouldn't that C3 change? It will definitely change. So C3 changes to C3 plus 4C1. Now students, see what will happen next. The next will be C3 changes to C3 plus 4C1. And when I apply this, will R1 change? Sorry, will prefactor matrix change? No, the prefactor matrix wouldn't change. The prefactor matrix would not change. What it will be? Same, 3, 1, 2, 5, and 1, 2. Then here it will change. See, what are we doing? We are bringing change in C3, column 3. C1 and C2 same. So 1, 2, 5, 3 as it is. And C3 will change. How is C3 changing? Check. C3 is changing by following rule. C3 plus 4 C1. You multiply 4 and add it to the elements of C3. So when you multiply 4 in C1, you'll get 4 into 1, 4. 4 plus 4, 8. Then you multiply 4 here, 4 into 2, 8, 8 plus 2, 10. And what about RHS matrix? RHS matrix, you will apply the same transformation. So C1 and C2 doesn't change. 5, 12, 5, 18, 25, 11. And here, how does it change? You multiply 4 here, 4 here, 4 here. That is what it is, 4 times of C1. And then add it to C3. This adds here, this adds here, and this adds here. The correspondingly added. Okay. So 5 into 4 is 20. When you add, you get 34. 5 into 12 is 60. 5 into 12 is 60. I'm sorry. 4 into 12. I'm multiplying 4. Okay. So 5 into 4 is 20. When you add, you get 34. Then 12 into 4. It is 4 times of C1. 12 into 4 is 48. 48, when you add here, how much you get? You get 66. 66. 48 plus 18, 66. Now here when you multiply 4, you get 20. 20 plus 8 is 28. And remember student, this equation, which is number 4, this equation is also true. So this completes the elementary column transformation. We have done everything about the transformations. We have completed elementary row transformation as well as elementary column transformation. You be prepared with it. In the next lecture, we are going to take problems based on these two transformations. Okay. Thank you. That is the end of the lecture.